Good evening, sports fans. Welcome to another exciting edition of High School Sports here on your high school sports leader, Oregon Sports Beat. Tonight, from Strasser Field at East Delta Park, it is girls lacrosse, the state tournament. This is the silver bracket in the state tournament. I'm Dave Hall. I'm your host tonight. Working with me, my partner, Amy McDevitt-Maki.
That's correct.
I get that right? Okay. I'll try to explain the bracket. If I mess up on this, Amy, get me straight. We started with 20 teams who made the playoffs. 12 teams made the championship bracket. Those are teams that are playing for the championship trophy. We call that the gold bracket. 8 other teams are going to play. They're in what's called the silver bracket, and they're actually playing for the championship in the silver bracket. Those are teams that are ranked 13th through 20th. And this is what we're covering tonight. This is the silver bracket semifinals. The 2 games, we're here with the Central Catholic Tualatin game. The other game is Beaverton and Cleveland are meeting tonight. The winner of those 2 games, they're going to meet on the 20th at Liberty High School for the championship of the silver division. The gold division is also down to 4 teams. Those are on the 19th. The semifinals will be on Monday night. Grant will play Lake Oswego, and Jesuit will play OES, and then the finals in that bracket will be on the 22nd. So this is a semifinals. One of these teams that we're going to watch here tonight, Central Catholic and Tualatin, is going to go to that championship game on Tuesday night. Thanks for joining us here. The 2 teams tonight, Central Catholic, their head coach Sharon Zemp, their record for the season was 7-7. Tualatin, their overall record, their head coach is Lois Ray. Their head coach, like I said, Lois Ray, their record was 9-4, 4-0 in their league play. Now, they did play in a conference that a number of teams had trouble fielding a team. I think she told me that 3 of their wins were actually by forfeit during the regular season.
Yep.
But these teams, from a statistic-wise, are very evenly matched.
Yeah, it should be super exciting. The last time these 2 teams met up, Central won by 1 goal in 11-10. That was the first game of the season. So they have both, for sure, developed a ton since then. But it's going to be really interesting to see how it plays out.
One of the other things I didn't mention, the OGLA is actually going to have an all-star game.
Yeah.
That'll be after all the championships are done, and that's going to be on the 29th at 7 o'clock, and that will be played at Oregon City High School.
Yeah, that's correct. That should be really, really fun to watch because the stakes are low, and it's just a chance for those girls to really show their stuff and have a great time. There'll be a ton of seniors out there and from all different schools, and I think it should just be a blast to watch.
Okay, if you want to know how these 2 teams got here tonight, Central Catholic played Oregon City in the first round. Central was ranked 14th, Oregon City 19th. Central won that game. Summit played Tualatin in the first round. Summit ranked 18th, Tualatin 15th. Tualatin won that. That set up this matchup, Central Catholic and Tualatin. In the other bracket, Beaverton played in the first round against South Salem and won that to move to their semifinal tonight. And Cleveland played Mountainside and won that to be the other half of the semifinal tonight. So Beaverton at Cleveland, Central Catholic here at Tualatin, just about ready to get this one underway. Thanks for joining us here at Oregon Sports Beat. We'll carry those games next week. The 2 semifinal games in the gold bracket on Monday night, the silver championship on Tuesday night, and the gold championship on Thursday night. You can go to our website, OregonSportsBeat.com. We have our calendar up, and you can see where we're going to be. Also, it's high school playoff time. We have a lot of playoffs coming up in baseball, in softball, and you can find out where we're going to be for those. We'll have that up just shortly when the pairings are set. Starting in goal for Tualatin tonight, they'll actually split their goalie time. Each one of these 2 girls will play a half. number 44 Abigail Goyburn, and number 46 Sonoma Allen will split the time in goal. For the Central Catholic Rams, Rebecca Johnson will be in goal. Amy, what can we look for tonight?
Well, I think both goalies have a pretty high save percentage. I was talking to the coaches before the game about that, and up in the gold bracket, you're lucky if you get a goalie who's saving 25%. And these goalies are saving around 42% and 42% for Tualatin and 32% for Central. And when I talked to the coaches about it, they said the girls in this league are not shooting quite as hard as they are in the gold league, so it's a little bit easier to get that percentage, but I still think it's super impressive that these girls are saving that many. It's the toughest position on the field.
Absolutely. I did a boys game on Tuesday night, and it was really exciting to watch. There's so much strategy involved in these games. Can you get in front of the net? Can you work from the wings towards the middle? Can you work from behind the goal? And we'll see all those kinds of strategies in this game tonight.
Yeah, I mean, one of the unique things about lacrosse that I think is really fun is using that space behind the goal and kind of like hockey coming around the crease. It's always fun to watch that, and that's just something that's a little different than some of the other field sports that we have. So really fun to watch.
I'm a hockey fan, and I love those wraparound goals when you come around and you slip it in just inside the goalie. Another important part of the lacrosse game, the draws. Which team can control the draws, because draws mean more possessions.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so critical that you get that draw control right at the start. I don't know what the percentage is, but I think it's pretty high. If you win the draw, you score off of that. So I am predicting that, between Maeve, Kelly, and Marin and Addie, those three at the midfield, they were really successful in the last game that I watched on possessing the draw. So I'm guessing that they're gonna win more draws tonight, but we'll see. It can, a lot of it just comes down to hustle. And I watched those Tualatin girls warming up and trying to grab the ball out of the air, which is what you do off the draw circle, and they look really ready. So it's going to be fun to watch.
Two players are not going to play tonight for Central Catholic. Number 11, Amir Wilson, is not going to play, and number 32, Theo Bradford, will not play. Of course, Theo, one of the players on the Central Catholic girls basketball team, along with Paige Pierce, who will play tonight. And the other thing that I was just going to remember, Central Catholic has had a disadvantage in the number of players they have available to play tonight. Let's see, Tualatin has 6 more players suited up than Central does.
Yeah, and fortunately, we're looking at a relatively cool, cloudy evening, and they will probably do some switching around. Those midfielders have to run a lot. And when I was talking to Sharon Zemp before the game, she said she really trusts her girls at this point to switch out when they need to out of the midfield. So we'll see them switching from midfield to attack or midfield to defense so that they're not having to cover the entire field.
All right, just about ready for the draw for Central Catholic. I believe that's Maeve Kelly.
Sure is.
Let's see who Tualatin's going to send to do the draws. It looks like, is that number 7?
Yeah, Molly Labhart is going to be taking the draw against
Her mother's sitting right here in front of us.
Yeah, and shout out to that family. I know they've got listeners all over the state of Oregon tonight.
All right, ready to get this underway. 4 12-minute quarters. The draw for the girls much different than the draw for the boys.
Yeah, there's no clamp, obviously. Oh, Maeve real quick off the drop to possess. Nice.
Rams come forward. She had to go back to get that draw that time. They like to try to push that forward, but went back. So the Rams will start on offense. One of the things, Amy, I noticed right off, the goalie for Central is much bigger than the goalie for Tualatin.
Yeah, I mean, it helps when you can fill up a little more space.
Just underway here, Strasser Field at East Zelda Park. The silver division of the OGLA championships, the semifinals.
And this is exactly what Coach Sharon Zemp was looking for, patience on offense. She said she really wanted them to take the smart shot and give it a little time to develop. So that's what we're seeing.
Our first wraparound attempt goes wide to the right.
Yeah, that was Addie Hartmeyer on that shot.
Back behind the net. Central in front, gets a shot away. Possession will go to Tualatin.
That's just good hustle on defense right there. Nice transition.
Down the left side up front, that's number 8, Addison Dybel. And she'll set up behind the net. I mentioned before to you, one of the strong defenders for Central Catholic, number 29, Paige Pierce, plays right in front of the net, but that shot went in for Tualatin.
Yeah, it sure did. And, you know, one of the things that Central's coach was talking to me about before the game was that I think a couple of their defenders are injured. So they're going to really need to be stepping up tonight and talking to each other. I think there was a little bit of a miscommunication there. One of the girls went down, so she ended up getting a pretty open shot on goal.
Did you see who scored the number?
I didn't.
Okay. We'll get that later and get that to you. There was a crowd in front of the net. Our second draw of the game. First one was won by Central Catholic. And this one controlled by Tualatin.
Yeah, that was Rose Freza. She is one of their top scorers.
Just underway, 3 minutes in, Tualatin leads 1-0. Central did win the first matchup between these two, 11-10.
Yep. That's some good defense. Number 31, Tilly Dieter, breaking up the play over there.
Tualatin with the ball behind the net. And another goal.
Yeah, that one was Nadia Santana.
Nadia, number
Yes.
5.
And she just came through there really quickly. It was a very nice feed from, I don't know who the assist was from, but really nice feed for an easy finish for her.
Goals a minute apart.
Yeah, Central is going to maybe want to look at some of their defensive strategy right now.
Winner of this game will go to the gold division final.
The silver division.
I'm sorry, silver.
Yeah.
That's going to go, no, saved, still.
Redraw.
Going to redraw that. The ball kind of rolled from the center all the way to the side.
Yeah, it did, and the lines are hot. I'm not sure if he was just unsure which team it was going out on. So Molly is pulling and Maeve is pushing. We'll see. Yeah, really nice. Right into the stick of Addison Diebel.
Off the draw, went all the way down in on net, took a shot. Two to nothing. Tualatin leads. We're approaching the 8-minute mark here. 8 minutes to go in the first quarter.
And that was a great play by Paige Pierce on defense. She broke it up and took possession. And here we go in transition. Okay, so it looks like a covering call on Central there. You can't cover the ball with your stick. So that's Hadley Klein with the ball right now. Oh, wow. So Hadley just passed to Addison Diebel, who just knocked in a quick, easy shot right there.
We are 5 minutes in, and we've got 3 goals.
Yeah, I think Sharon Zemp is really smart to call a timeout right now. They've got to regroup and figure out their defensive strategy. The Tualatin girls are getting really open right in front of the goal.
Actually, that's 3 goals in 2 minutes, from 9:46 until 7:15. 3 goals, so going to have to make some change on defense. What would you suggest they do?
Well, I mean, I think communication is always key on defense. The goalie needs to be communicating with the defenders, and the defenders need to be talking to each other. And they need to know when they're switching. And, you know, I think they're trying out a zone defense, which may be new for them. That's what Sharon was talking about with the injuries. I think typically they go man-to-man defense, and so this is something new and different that they don't quite have dialed in yet.
You're listening to Oregon Sports Beat coverage of OGLA Silver semifinals. I'm Dave Hall, along with Amy McDevitt-Maki. And Amy, you've coached for 10 years, I think you said. You played college lacrosse at Occidental in California. Your daughter plays at OES and is headed to did you say Claremont Mudd in California?
Claremont McKenna, yeah. McKenna. Yeah, and down there at Claremont, they actually have a combined team.
I didn't change it that many, but they were big changes. All right, timeout for Central Catholic is over. Let's see what Coach Zemba's come up for strategy on defense, because we haven't played much offensively, Central Catholic.
I also wonder if they're going to try something a little different on the draw, because Molly has been very successful at pulling, and it looks like Maeve is going to switch to that pull strategy as well. Maeve has been pushing against her pull. Now Maeve's going to pull against her pull, and we'll see how that works. So Maeve's trying to get it to Marin, it looks like.
And up in the air forward.
Yes.
Maeve Kelly gets it herself on the run.
I think that was a 3 seconds call on number 5. You have to be closely guarding someone within the 8 meter, and I think she was kind of floating out on her own. So
that's Nadia Santana, the girl who scored one of the goals.
Yep.
Hattie Hartmeyer out on top, sends it towards the back.
That's Elise Lamb with the ball right now. So they called a little bit of contact there. On defense, they really blow the whistle a lot if you have a horizontal stick. Your stick is supposed to be straight up and down. And so sometimes even if there's hardly any contact. Oh, broken up by Mihaela Horsford right there. Nice. Nice defense by Tualatin.
Rams down, trying to set up, trying to get something going offensively, and Tualatin takes the ball away. 5:35 left to go in the first quarter. Tualatin leads 3-0.
Good aggressive ride right there by Hadley Drews. So the attackers have to play defense too. And oh, that was a nice transition. Tualatin's got numbers.
Pierce dropped back that time. Tualatin wasn't gonna drive in on her. Up front, the wraparound, wide to the left.
I think that actually might have been a save by Becca. It's hard to tell from this angle, but it looked like it could have been a stop.
It was close.
Yeah, yeah.
It was really close. I couldn't tell either. Tualatin with the ball in the lead, 3-0. Lobbed in front.
Looks like there may have been some contact with the face there.
Right, I think she got hit in the face, a Tualatin player.
Yeah, that's Molly Labhart again. Addison Diebel with the, oh, they left her open. They stepped off her. That was a mistake. Good save by Becca.
Action in front. Becca Johnson got in front that time, stopped that. No lead is safe in lacrosse, but you don't want to get down by what you can't recover from.
Yeah, it's really true. I mean, 3 goals is nothing. You can, as we saw, you can score very quickly. It's a game of runs. So I expect to see Central get a run in here sometime.
Well, they have 3 minutes and 20 seconds left to go here in the first quarter. 3-0. Tualatin leads. Again, Tualatin has 6 more subs than Central. You can look over the benches and see that's very evident.
It's a factor. But Central's got such a strong midfield with Addie and Maeve and Marin that, you know, those girls are fit. I think they're going to do just fine. Again, a really nice ride, really aggressive by number 19, Rose Freza for Tualatin. Just took that right away from Paige Pierce on D.
Coach Ray, when she was mentioning the players to watch, said watch number 19, Rose Freza.
Yeah, she's very strong.
Cutters went through that time.
Yeah, and you'll notice that number 11, Emma Wilson on defense, is playing just kind of right in the middle. She's playing in the middle of their zone. She's having to mark multiple players as they come through.
I think I said at the start of the game, Wilson was not going to play. It's actually Amori Edgar that's not going to play. So Wilson is out there, number 11.
Yep.
Ball loose in front, scooped up, Central with it. Whistle.
Yeah, so it looked like Marin actually took a hit to the face, but there was no card, and she's going to just continue up the field with it.
Dishes off in the middle, 21, that's Hartmeyer.
Yeah, and the Wolves are doing a nice job of collapsing. They're moving their feet on defense, making it tough for Central to penetrate here.
We're approaching the 1 minute mark. In on goal.
Wow, that looked like Maeve took a hit to the head, but there was no whistle.
And Tualatin comes up with it now behind the net. They'll start forward. I'd mentioned we were going to split goalies for Tualatin. I was trying to catch the number there. I think that's 44.
Yep.
44 in net right now. That's Abigail Goyburn. Expect to see Sonoma Allen in the second half.
So Nadia Santana taking some contact there.
Santana. Oh, and the clock was running. That's the end of the first quarter. Our score at the end of 1. It is Tualatin 3, Central Catholic nothing. Goals in that quarter for Tualatin. We'll have to get you who was on the first goal. The second goal at the 8:38 mark was Nadia Santana, and the third goal at the 7:15 mark was Addison Dybel.
Yep. Yeah, I would really like to see Central do a couple things in the next quarter. I think they've got to get their defense figured out, and I don't know if maybe she'll switch back to a man-to-man. It'll be interesting to see what they do to fix the defense. And then I'd also like to see them just have a little bit more urgency. When they brought the ball down there, they're trying to let plays develop, but I know they've got some really quick players, and I don't see them driving yet. So a little more urgency on the offensive end would be good to see.
A set of twins play for Tualatin. Number 20, Haley Metler, and number 21, Kimberly Metler. They're twins. And then two other sisters play for Tualatin, number 13, Ava Gray, and number 22, Delaney Gray.
Well, that's fun. It's always fun to play high school sports with your sister. I'll tell you, I grew up playing volleyball with my sister, my older sister, and I like to think that I was the better athlete, and I was the more competitive of the two of us. But it was always fun, and we still have our old high school volleyball picture. My mom kept it up in her house for a million years. It's really a special thing.
You didn't play the same position, did you? Of course, in volleyball, that doesn't really.
Yeah, you move around. I was a little bit taller than my sister, so I was a little bit more of a hitter and a blocker. I
cover volleyball for Oregon Sports Beat. It's one of my favorite sports to cover.
It's so much fun. It is so much fun. I love volleyball.
I don't know if you knew this or not, but boys volleyball is now an official sport in Oregon. Monday on our show, Sports Beat Weekly, we're going to have one of the current new boys volleyball coaches on to talk about that.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, I did know that it was a newly sanctioned OSAA sport, which is just so exciting. It's going to be really fun to watch that grow.
All right, we're going to switch ends now. Central Catholic is going to move from our right to our left. Tualatin going to move from our left to our right. Tualatin in the black uniforms with the white trim. Central Catholic in the white uniforms with their cardinal trim.
And we've got number 8, Addison Dybel, taking the draw against Maeve this time. They're both looking to push the ball, so we'll see how this goes.
And it goes to Central Catholic.
Yeah, that was a really nice quick step by Marin off the circle to grab that.
Central going to work the ball around the outside. I didn't realize it, Amy, but I think we're sitting among the Tualatin fans.
Yeah, I hear a few of them here. I think Central is more over there.
Okay. Just underway, second quarter action, 3-0 Tualatin leads. Central with the ball behind the net.
Yeah, you got to give the Wolves credit for some good defense. Central's not getting a lot of opportunities.
Right in front, swing it around, the shot.
Yeah, really nice by Addie Hartmeyer right there. Kind of fake high, go low. Classic move.
Central on the board to start the second. Addie Hartmeyer, 10:36.
And their patience paid off that time. You know, they really waited until they had an opening and they took it. So it worked. And again, critical draw control that they got off of that last one. We'll see what happens this time.
Amy talked about a game of runs. Let's see if Central can get one here.
Yep. Looks to me like Maeve is going to self-draw or pull back. Yep, right there. Same exact strategy as last time.
And
right,
it worked
right
just the
Marin.
same.
Yep.
Ball loose on the ground.
This is another thing the coaches said they really like to see hustle and physicality on those 50-50 balls. So ground balls really come down to who wants it and who's willing to be aggressive and just hustle like their lives depend on it. That's what I always tell my players. You go after those ground balls like your life depends on it.
And what's the key to getting a ground ball?
Well, boxing the other player out, getting your body in front of them, and really it just comes down to fundamentals. You'll see girls try to put their stick way out in front of them, and that does not work well because they can quickly get it checked out of their stick. So you got to get down low, you got to work hard, you got to be willing to just squat down really low. Oh, nice moves right there by Marin.
Great spin move to get in on goal.
They're defending her really well.
The ball loose right in front on the ground.
Yeah, the goalie got a piece of that. She read that pass coming over. But Central's going to keep possession. I also like the way Marin is just so fluid in her left to right. She's just, you've got to be two-handed in this game, and she just moves pretty easily back and forth.
And Central's relying on her movement to get the ball to her a lot.
Yeah. There she is at X behind the goal right now.
Dishes it off, wraparound. Oh, a shot. I believe it was Hartmeyer.
It was, yeah. They tried to draw the defense out with Marin and then left Hartmeyer open, but she just missed wide.
She was
good defense right there. Addie Hartmeyer just broke up that play. Oh, but then a missed pass and right to their player, Rose Freza. Yeah, she's a dangerous one to have the ball in her stick right now.
It was a good opportunity for Central on that last possession, but couldn't get the ball in the net.
Oh, And that was just a quick stick right there. Addison Diebel, again, really nice pass from behind the goal, Rose to Addison. And Addison with the quick finish with the quick stick, just tapped it right in.
Number 8, Addison Diebel, with her second goal of the game. 4-1 now, Tualatin. That goal, 7:29 the time. Diebel with the last 2 goals for Tualatin. They lead 4-1. Lone goal for Central Catholic by Harmeyer. On the draw, controlled by Tualatin.
Again, it comes down to hustle right here.
Oh, and got the ball in the stick, but fell out and slid foul. I'm sorry, slid out of bounds.
But they're giving it back to her. I don't know if they called it trip or what on that.
It might have been a trip because she went down.
Yeah.
On the way to the ball.
Yep.
Becca Johnson in goal for Central Catholic. Paige Pierce filling up part of that goal herself.
Protect the ball, girls.
Tualatin with the ball. 6:05 left to go here in the second.
Number 10, Hadley Klein, working it around behind the goal, looking for that pass through the middle. And Central's doing a little bit better job of covering the players as they cut through.
Spin move behind the net. Looking for a cutter. Couple went through from each side that time. Tried to get the ball to Santana right in front, missed.
Let's see who's going to come up with it right here. Nice.
Rams do.
So that was Lila Sharp with the hustle play on the ground ball right there.
I think that was a trip.
Yep. She's trying to move it down the field quickly. Looks like it's elite. Who's got it now? Addie Hartmeyer with the ball.
Hartmeyer so far has been the biggest scoring threat for the Rams.
I think that was a shooting space call, so she's going to get a free shot from the 8-meter right here.
And she does, comes in on goal, lets it go too high.
Nope, it was right in.
Oh.
Nice low shot from Addie Hartmeyer right there. So
okay. I missed it going over there.
yeah, that was a great job. She just came quickly off the line and got her shot off nice and close and low. So
Hartmeyer with both goals for the Rams. One at 10:36, this one at 4:19. 4-2.
looks like the Wolves are putting Molly Labhart back on the draw. She was very successful in the first quarter with her pull to number 19 Rose Frezza. Maeve's gonna try and push, and Maeve got it to, yep, good hustle. So Maeve ended up with it in her stick.
Got it forward, it bounced around. She got forward and got it. Cross to Hartmeyer.
Addie Hartmeyer, oh, number 16, Lila Sharp, was pretty open there in the middle.
Cut down right down the middle and couldn't get her the ball. Kelly
There's Maeve.
in front.
Oh, very nice quick pass from Maeve to Marin, and Marin with a nice finish.
Time on that goal, 3:20, and we're now at 4-3.
Yeah, Central Catholic is starting to look a little bit more like themselves now. I think winning the draw, using their quickness, finding each other.
Well, they've outscored Tualatin here in the second, 3-1.
Yep.
So we've had a reversal of the first. 4-3, Tualatin leads.
Yeah, and you can just see how critical it is to win that draw. So again, Maeve is going to push. She's trying to push to Addie Hartmeyer here. And Molly is trying to pull, and it ends up straight up. So that was an empty stick check, and that's going to go in Central's favor right there.
Central moved the ball forward.
Oops, uh-oh.
Ball got loose by the goalie. Rams trying to get back.
That was exciting. So the Wolves checked it out of the goalie's stick, but it went out of bounds. So now the goalie is possessing, which is a little dangerous with that big stick. So she got rid of it right away. And looks like Addie Hartmeyer is trying to handle it, get it away from the ride here. She's not finding an open teammate. There it is. To Genevieve Phelps.
Down the right side. Rams
Ball
looking for
on
the
the-
equalizer. Approaching the 2-minute mark left in the half.
That's going to go for Central. Again, the ball is ending up on the ground some of the time here, and it really comes down to who's getting those ground balls and who's really hustling after those 50-50 balls.
Rams got 1:43 to see if they can tie this up before halftime. Pierce sends it forward.
Addie Hartmeyer coming down the middle.
Inside, Hartmeyer.
Looks like she got checked at the last second just as her shot was taking off. Nice defense by the Wolves.
Still with the ball, Hartmeyer behind the net.
There's Marin to Hartmeyer, just wide. Yep.
Hartmeyer circled around from the back of the net to right in front and then missed right in front.
There's Emma Moran, number 25, with the ball. And Elise Lamb.
In front, tried to spin around and get a shot away. Now the ball up in the air, taken by the Rams.
Nadia Santana with some nice defense. Ooh, that was, looked like a check to the head, knocked her goggles right off. But no card, just a foul.
Rams will keep the ball. 27 seconds left to go in the half.
Marin again taking a check to the head, it looks like, but playing on.
12 seconds. Inside to Kelly. Kelly gets a shot away.
Nope, she didn't quite get the shot off.
2 seconds now.
The Timberwolves are really locking down on defense. I mean, they had Marin double or triple teamed right there in front of the goal. Very difficult for her to get a shot off.
And she got hit in the head twice by a
Yeah,
stick.
yeah.
2 seconds.
So Marin with the 8-meter, and she scores. So quick off that 8-meter. Tie game, this is fun.
And the time on that goal, well, I think it was 1 second.
It was just as time expired, so.
And it was, who got the goal?
Marin Kelly, I think.
All right, Kelly with 2 goals there right near the end. We are tied. 4 goals for Central Catholic there in the second, 1 for Tualatin. It's 4-4. Let me recap the goal scoring for you. First, a goal early on in the first at the 9:46 mark by Tualatin, followed up by goals at the 8:38 mark by Nadia Santana, and a goal at the 7:15 mark by Addison Dybel. And then 5 goals altogether in the second. The first goal of the second was Addie Hartmeyer at 10:36. Addison Dybel with her second goal of the game, that coming at the 7:26 mark, made it 4-1 Tualatin. And then 3 straight goals for the Rams, 4:19 for Hartmeyer, and then 2 goals by Kelly, one at the 3:20 mark and one at the 1 second mark, to make us 4-4 at the half. Couldn't be more exciting than that.
I love it. It's so much fun to watch these teams, and just like you said, you know, a lead of 3 goals doesn't mean much in lacrosse. Things can change very quickly, and I've been super impressed with the defense by Tualatin, but Central has been able to kind of get their groove on attack and penetrate a little bit, and they've gotten a couple penalties, and those 8-meter shots are really key to the game.
All right, we're going to take a short break. I'll let our engineer Steve know. We're going to take a break. We'll come back with about 2 minutes to go before the start of the second half. Amy will tell you what each team needs to do now that we're like starting all over again. So we'll take a break. Our score at halftime, Central Catholic 4, Tualatin 4. We'll be back. Start now. All right, welcome back to Strasser Field at East Delta Park. It is Oregon Girls Lacrosse Association. This is a semifinal match in the Silver Division. We are at halftime, and Central Catholic is tied with Tualatin 4-4. I'm Dave Hall, along with Amy McDevitt-Maki. And Amy, we're like starting over again. After all of that, after falling down 3-0, it's like starting over again. You've seen the whole first half. Any changes that you could suggest either team might make?
Well, I think Central has made some adjustments on defense. That was the really big thing in the first quarter. The Timberwolves were getting some wide open shots on goal, and I know Central is dealing with some injuries to some of their defensive players, so they are having to make adjustments and switch to a zone defense, and it looks like they're starting to figure it out a little bit. So that was the main adjustment that Central needed to make. And, you know, it also really comes down to the draw and who's able to get the draw, because you so often score off of the draw control. So Maeve was doing a really nice job in that second quarter of possessing and winning the draw. So, yeah, I mean, I think it comes down to defense. This game is you know, the Wolves' defense has just been locked down, and Central cannot get an open shot. The scores, I think they've scored 3 of their goals off of 8-meter penalties, so they're not getting a lot of open shots. They're double and triple teaming girls who are close in, so it's tough for Central to score. And yeah, I'm really impressed with the Wolves' defense.
You know, we talked a little bit in the beginning about this game. No lead is really safe, and teams can go on runs. Well, in fact, Tualatin went on a 3-goal run in the first. In the stretch of 2 minutes, they scored 3 goals. Central scored 3 of their goals in a stretch of 4 minutes just before halftime ended. So both teams have gone on a run, and both teams have withstood it.
Yeah, it is a game of runs, and a lead of 3 is certainly not safe. So nobody can relax in this game.
This is one of the 2 semifinals in the Silver Division. The winner of this game will play at Liberty High School on Tuesday night, play the winner of the Beaverton-Cleveland game, which is going on right now, the other semifinal in the Silver Division. The Gold Division is set. Monday night will be the semifinals in that. In one of the semifinal game, Grant, the number 2 seed, will play Lake Oswego, the number 3 seed. In the other semifinal, OES, the number 5 seed, will play Jesuit, the number 1 seed. They are a powerhouse.
They are every year. Jesuit has a lot of depth. They've got a lot of incredible players, and in fact, a lot of D1 commits for girls lacrosse.
They've got just a great sports program. One of the news I saw today, one of the kids that pitched for Jesuit's baseball team about 4 years ago got drafted by the Philadelphia Phillies, been in the minor leagues, got called up today. He's going to pitch in the major leagues on Sunday.
Great hustle by Maeve Kelly there on the ground ball to possess the draw.
By the way, that kid's name was Mick Abel. He'll pitch for the Phillies on Sunday. Just a little aside there. All right, we're underway. Third quarter action, 4-4 our score. Central Catholic and Tualatin. The Rams and the Wolves. Rams moving from our left to our right.
Maeve's looking for a cutter through the middle, but again, the Wolves have locked down D, so there's not going to be a lot of wide open passes there in the middle.
This game is a lot about emotion, too. You know, and Central Catholic has not led in this game. A goal now, I think, would be a big boost to them.
So true. Getting that confidence and momentum on your side is so important.
12-minute quarters. We're in the just started the third.
There's Marin again with the ball behind, coming around. They're being very patient, which was part of their game plan, to really wait for a great shot. But they're not getting a lot of opportunities. Elise Lamb making a drive right here.
Spins around in front, gets a shot away, goal! Central Catholic has the lead.
Yeah, Elise Lamb, really nice roll around the crease right there. Just a great quick shot, quick run.
Okay, I might not have her on my roster. What number is she?
Number 30, Elise Lamb.
There we go, okay, right. Okay, number 30, Elise Lamb with the goal. Central Catholic leads. By the way, that's 4 straight goals for the Rams. And the time on that, 10:11.
Yeah, that's a real boost, you know, even though it's only a 1-goal lead for them. I think they're just feeling more confident. You can see it in their body language, shoulders back, they're pumped.
That's 4 goals in 5 minutes for the Rams.
Very nice. Maeve to Marin on the draw, and Marin just came off the circle and grabbed it out of the air. Really nice. Oh, and a wide open Addie Hartmeyer in front, but the goalie got it with her foot, so didn't go in.
Do we have a different goalie? Can you see the number? Is that 46 now?
I think it is the other goalie.
Sonoma Allen.
Oh,
and another goal for the Rams.
And
now the Rams are rolling.
Yeah, that was Maeve Kelly with a nice little sort of sidearm shot there, really strong.
Time on that goal, 9:35. I believe, I think that's a hat trick for Maeve Kelly. I think that's 3.
Yeah, not surprising. She's just a freshman. I coached her last year on the All-Star team for the Portland All-Stars. Basically, it's kids from around the metro area who only have a couple of really strong players per team, and we put them all together on a little All-Star team for 7th and 8th grade. And Maeve was one of our stars last year as an 8th grader. She did great. It's really fun to watch her play. She's got great skills, very quick and very strong.
Tualatin wants a timeout. After leading, 4-3, they're now down 6-4. Speaking of All-Stars, there is an All-Star game after all the championships are done. Again, I mentioned that earlier. It's at Oregon City on the 29th at 7 o'clock, the OGLA All-Star game.
Yeah, that should be really fun. I mean, those girls are not going to be used to playing together, but they're all such strong players, and I think they're just going to be out to have a lot of fun. So it'll be a good one to watch. Yeah, I think the Timberwolves are probably going to make some adjustments, maybe on defense. I think their defense has been really good, but they've got to possess the draw to get it on the attacking side and score.
Addison Daibo with a couple of goals for Tualatin. Maybe they need to get her more involved in the offense here.
Yeah, and they, when they were getting the goals in the first part of the first quarter, they were getting them off of winning the draw. So I think they might want to make some adjustments there.
The changes that the Central Catholic Rams have made off the draw have proven very successful.
Yeah. Yeah, Marin is doing, or Maeve is doing a nice job of popping it up, and Marin is doing a great job of grabbing it out of the air.
Kelly will take the draw this time for the Rams. Let's see who's going to take the draw for Tualatin.
Looks like Addison Diebel again.
It is.
And they are both pushing. It's always interesting to see. So you can see two of the players are off the circle here on the left side. They're going to try to run onto the ball. I think they're both expecting it to come that direction.
Here we go on the draw. Up in the air. Taken. Rams have it. Quickly,
So-
straight ahead. Go ahead, Amy.
Great job by Maeve right there to knock it to herself out of the air. It went directly up, and she just timed her jump perfectly and knocked it down and then got the ground ball off of it. So really great job by Maeve Kelly on the draw.
Good point. She timed that jump perfect. Rams with the 2-goal lead now, 6-4, and the ball.
Wow, Maeve's got 3 defenders on her. And they're coming up with it. So there's Nadia Santana bringing it down the field.
Santana, a goal scorer in this game.
Oh, and they've got oh my goodness. They had a wide open player, but really nice defense by Addie Hartmeyer coming down the sideline. She knocked it out of her stick on the pass. So it's back to Central.
Down the sideline on the left comes Central.
There's
Spin
Marin
move.
again. Number 22, sophomore, real leader on the team. Sharon Zemp could not say enough positive things about Marin before the game. She just said she's really the commander and that we wouldn't be here without her. So she's done a great job for the Rams. Oh boy, she just took a hard hit to the head, it looks like. A little surprising we're not seeing yellow cards issued with the contact to the head. So Marin's got an 8-meter shot right here. I expect to see her run it in and take it. Oh, and a nice save.
Up high and knock that down. Number 22, Marin Lutfaya.
Yeah, I'm not sure how to say her last name.
Lutfaya. Luthfyya. Hope we got that right. I think I talked to somebody before and I think that's what they told me. I went over the pronunciations. All right, 7 minutes left to go in the third. Rams
Addie
with-
Hartmeyer's got the ball right now. And what I expect to see right here is Central just trying to hold on for a bit and burn the clock and kind of keep their lead.
Hadley Drew's in for the Rams, number 35. Behind the net.
That's Marin with the ball again. Nice
Spin move
spin.
in front. Can't get a shot away.
And again, she's being double and triple teamed. But she's getting an 8-meter here.
All right, a shot coming up for the Rams.
Oh, and she
Lob
chose to-
close. The shot dunked it in. Just raised up the stick, went over the top of the goalie and put it in.
I think that was Elise Lamb with the finish. It's
Okay.
hard to see. It's hard to see the numbers. I'm not sure who that was.
If it was Lamb, that would be her second in the time on that, 5:46. 3 goals here in the third for the Rams. A 4-4 draw at halftime has gone into a 7-4 Rams lead.
Yeah, and that was a really nice job by Marin. You don't see it too often off of an 8-meter. They usually go straight to goal, but she had a teammate right there on the crease that she passed to who was able to go over the top of the goalie and score. Nice team goal for the Rams.
Amy, what's happened to the offense for the Wolves? They haven't gotten much going here.
It's about possessing that draw, and here we go. So we'll see if they're able to convert.
Wolves with the ball behind the net.
It's Rose Freza again, one of their most dominant players.
Freza, number 19, behind the net.
That's Hadley Klein, number 10. Yeah, and it looks like Central is figuring out their defense. We're not seeing any wide open players. Oh, and a save. Rose Freza came around and tried to get a shot in low there, but she was able to block it.
The times that Paige Pierce has been in on defense, she's been very effective.
Yeah, she is. She has broken up some plays.
She's a powerful girl on the basketball court, and she's putting that to good use now, fighting off the players coming on the net.
Looks like Addison with an 8-meter shot right here.
Oh, another nice save by the goalie, Becca Johnson. Got the stick right in front of the ball that time.
Wow.
Stepped out of bounds, I think. Rose Freza.
Yeah, Rose was really aggressive, did a great check and got it right back for Tualatin. Such a critical part of the game is that ride by the middies and attack during that transition when the other team is trying to get it down the field.
.335 left to go in the third. Rams 7, Wolves 4. Oh,
another save.
Wow.
Becca Josephson is just crushing it on in the goal.
Becca Johnson.
I think it's Josephson.
Oh, maybe it is. Okay. You've got a different sheet than I do. Okay. Becca doing a great job, though. That's 2 great blocks she's made straight on shots.
Yeah, really nice job. She's going to Paige Pierce here with the little pass. They're getting pressured. Wow, she just golfed that ball up to Maeve. That was a golf swing. Again, look for Central to just possess and burn the clock right now. We don't have a shot clock yet at the high school level in girls lacrosse. We do at the college level. And it's a pretty effective strategy to just possess the ball on attack and use up that clock.
We just ticked under 2 minutes left to go in the third. 7-4 Rams.
Looks like Addie Hartmeyer with an 8-meter here. Not a great angle from that side, so we'll see what she does with it. All right, and the defense came up with it for the Wolves. Number 2, Zoe Merlino.
Down the right side, now turn back.
Elise Lamb. So that was a shooting space violation by the defender. So Elise Lamb is going to get an 8-meter shot right here.
Lamb off to the right side of the net. Lamb inside.
Wow, really quick defense. Knocked it out of her stick, but the Rams are still possessing, so. Yeah, they're gonna try to run it down and get one shot off here at the end of the third.
Inside.
Here comes Marin. Again, triple teamed. Oh, and they called a charge.
Gonna have to hurry if Tualatin's gonna get a shot away.
Held cross, and here they come.
Gonna have to let it go now. And do. And that's the end of the third. Our score at the end of 3, it is Central Catholic 7, Tualatin 4. Rams outscore Tualatin in the third, 3-0.
Yeah, and I mean, I think those scores, at least 2 of them maybe, came off of 8-meter shots. So the penalties are really hurting the Wolves right now on defense. When you get an 8-meter shot, I'd say it's at least 50% of them end up in a goal. So.
One thing you had talked about before we started the game was the save percentage of the goalies, and it was particularly high for these two teams. We're still 7-4 after 3, so the goalies have been doing a good job.
Yeah, it's really true. They have a high save percentage, and this is a low scoring game for Lacrosse.
Well, the first time these two teams met, it was 11-10.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And they're not going to get there today. But credit the defense and credit the goalies. They're doing really well.
Rams, no goals in the first, 4 in the second, 3 in the third. Tualatin, 3 in the first, 1 in the second, none in the third. They scored those 3 goals in the first, and it's been a struggle since then.
Yeah, and Central is really pressuring them on the ride. They're not able to get the ball down the field like they were in the first half. So Central's done a nice job of just pressuring the ball through the midfield, and Tualatin has not been able to get it to their attackers.
All right, there's the horn for the teams. Head back out on the field. We have 12 minutes of action left in this semifinal match. Winner goes to the Silver Championship game on Tuesday night. We'll bring that to you here on Oregon Sports Beat. We'll bring you the 2 gold semifinals on Monday, the silver finals on Tuesday, and the gold final on Thursday. The week after that, we'll start the boys, the baseball and softball playoffs.
Such an exciting time of year for all of these kids. Looks like Addison Diebel on the draw again against Maeve Kelly.
Tualatin stays with Sonoma Allen in goal. High, caught, dropped.
And Maeve Kelly on the ground ball. So great hustle again by Maeve.
Rams moving right to left. I think that's the 3rd time she's had a draw and got the ball herself.
Yeah, it's popped way up in the air. It gets bobbled around a little bit, and she's just got such great hustle. She gets there for those ground balls. It's Elise Lamb with the ball right now. Nice move. Another shooting space violation. So on defense, if you put your body in a position where the attacker can potentially shoot the ball into your body and it's dangerous, they call shooting space. So she's going to get a free 8-meter shot here.
For our listeners who may not have ever seen a lacrosse ball, it's more like a baseball than it is a tennis ball, and it hurts if you get hit with it.
It is heavy and hard for sure. Looks like Central lost it out of bounds in the back, and here comes Nadia Santana.
Santana had the second Tualatin goal of the game. That was in the first.
She is quick, and she's choosing to run it all the way. Look at her go. Knocked out of her stick around the 12 there.
She had a desperation speed run that time.
And Central is opting to pass the ball up the field rather than run it. They're doing a nice job in transition there.
.25, I think, is Emma Moran.
Yep. Taking some contact there down low.
Back behind the net. Doesn't hurt the Rams to run off a little bit of time here.
Exactly. That's what they're trying to do. Addie's going to hold the ball there behind and, oh, making a move. Nice save off the goalie's leg.
Came back right in front. Got the shot away. Goalie saved it.
All right. So the Wolves are going to get possession here. They're really having difficulty getting through the midfield. So let's see if they try something a little different here on transition to get it to their attackers.
There was that stretch in the first period, that 3-minute stretch there where the Wolves didn't have any trouble getting to the Rams defenders, but since then it's been a different story.
Really different story, and again, so much pressure from Central in the midfield, and Maeve was able to get it from the defender right there. So again, the Rams are on attack.
Frezza really putting the pressure on defensively and a little too aggressive right then.
Yeah, I guess so.
Eight minutes left to go in the game.
Lila Sharp with the ball over there. Oh, that's interesting. I do not know what, there may have been a foul off the ball. I'm not sure what happened, but they're giving it back to the Wolves. All right, so it looks like a successful transition for Tualatin. That was really what they needed.
Hadley Klein with the ball forward that time, back behind the net.
Getting those ground balls. Yeah, it looks like they bobbled it a little bit behind the goal there and ended up having to battle for the ground ball, but they keep possession.
Addison Dybel that time kept the possession for the Wolves.
They got to have a little urgency here.
6:25 left to go in the game. 7-4 Rams.
Looks like Piper Fintner with the ball to Hadley Klein. Got to have some urgency here. Fourth quarter.
Have you seen either one of the other two semifinal teams, Beaverton and Cleveland?
Yeah, I coached about half those Cleveland girls during youth for Southeast, and I know the Beaverton goalie is great, Phoebe. So it should be a really good matchup. Oh, they bobbled it right in front of the goal, and the goalie got it.
Rams headed up the middle.
There goes Marin like a rocket.
Right through the middle, still on goal. Now loses it right in front.
Yeah, Rose Frezza with a really nice check to take the ball from Addie.
Rose very physical on defense. Wolves with the ball.
We'll see how they do in transition.
Across.
Switch the field here. Again, taking contact to the head with no cards.
Behind the net. Wolves. 4:40 left to go in the game.
So Molly Labhart, who was taking the draw for them at the beginning of the game, she's now behind the goal on attack. She was just fouled. Hadley Klein with the ball. Yeah, Central's doing a much better job on defense. They're not getting the opportunities they were in the first half. Oh, and the goalie comes up with it off a bobbled pass there. Olivia Maraca. Meraki.
Indication Ram ball. Elise Lamb.
They're now trying to pressure the midfield a little bit.
Rams would be wise maybe to run a little bit of time here.
Yeah, if they can possess, which they were not able to, so it's going back the other way. And the fans are saying it, it's true, they have to score.
That's going to be on the Rams.
Yeah, Emma Moran foul there.
Zoe Merlino on the throw, throws it back. Now there is urgency. You're going to have to get forward and get 3 goals.
The Rams are not making it easy here in the midfield. They're really pressuring the ball. All right, they were able to get it up to Addison.
Great defensive work at midfield there by Emma Moran. Rams take it away.
Off right there. Marin, number 22 for Central, picked off that pass in the middle. Really well read. Olivia Meraki up.
Here
to
come
Hadley.
the Rams.
Hadley Drews with the ball. So Hadley takes the foul and is going to get an 8-meter shot here.
Hadley Drew, number 35. Set, shoots, wide to the left. 1:45 left to go. You know, from the time it was 3-0, the Rams have outscored the Wolves 7-1, and in that entire period of time, 24, 36, 40 minutes have given up 1 goal.
Yeah, Central really turned it around on both ends.
Right? 40 minutes, giving up 1 goal.
That's amazing. You do not see that very often in lacrosse.
105.
So Maeve Kelly's got the ball right now, just trying to hold on.
Right, there's nothing wrong with standing around with the ball now, which she's doing.
Yep. Ooh, almost lost it out of bounds, but able to regain control there.
Pressure from Santana.
Addie Hartmeyer with the ball.
Got to run it backwards.
Oh, and Santana with a really nice check.
Timeout?
Okay. Yeah, so Tualatin calling a timeout.
34 seconds left to go in this game. Central Catholic Rams 7, Tualatin Timberwolves 4.
Unfortunately, I think this timeout is coming a little bit too late. You can't. It's going to be really tough for them to score 3 goals in 34 seconds. So,
7 minutes into this game, I would have never predicted this be the outcome of the game.
yeah, and all the credit to Central for just adjusting and really changing the game. They made some great adjustments on defense. They really pressured the midfield, made it very difficult for Tualatin to just move the ball down the field.
And these two teams in the power rankings at the end of the season, Central Catholic was 14th, Tualatin was 15th.
Yeah, it's a good matchup. So we'll see what the strategy is for the Wolves to move the ball down the field, which they have struggled with through this midfield section. And Central's going to keep that pressure on.
The Wolves have 34 seconds to figure something out.
So it looks like they're going to their ringer, Rose Freza, with the ball right now. Passing, and broken up again in the midfield. There's Addison Diebel with the ball, driving to goal.
Shoots.
Again broken up by the defense.
Lamb that time stepped in, got a stick up, knocked that down. Ball back behind the net, 10 seconds.
And Marin gives it to the goalie smartly.
There's the horn.
There it is.
Our final score here tonight. By the way, neither team scored in the fourth. Our final score, Central Catholic 7, Tualatin 4, scoring by quarters. Tualatin led at the end of one, 3-0. Rams outscored the Wolves in the second 4-1 to make it 4-4 at the half. Rams outscored Tualatin 3-0 in the third, 7-4 was the score, and nobody scored in the fourth. So we had, 8 goals scored in the first half, 3 goals scored in the second half. Our final score, Central Catholic 7, Tualatin 4. Amy, your thoughts?
Well, I think Central really pulled it together, and they did such a great job of pressuring the midfield. Tualatin really struggled to just move the ball down the field. As we saw at the end of the game, Central was very aggressive in the midfield. They were breaking up passes left and right, and the Wolves were not able to get any open passes to each other. So they did a great job. Central did a really nice job of pressuring the ball. And they're going on to the Silver Cup final, which I think was really their goal this year. When I talked to Sharon Zemp a few weeks ago when they were playing Ida B. Wells, it sounded like that's what they were working for. So they've accomplished what they set out to do, and I'm excited to see who they're going to play in the Silver Cup final.
All right, that final, of course, is Tuesday night at Liberty High School. Central Catholic on the will be one of the teams in the final. The other will be the winner of tonight's matchup between Beaverton and Cleveland. So we'll look forward to that. Got some people want to thank here. Of course, want to thank Strasser Field, East Elder Park, and their head coaches, Sharon Zemp for Central Catholic and Lois Ray for Tualatin. They certainly gave us lots of information and gave us lots of help before the start of the game tonight. Our crew tonight, Ryan Johnson, our producer, Steve Roberts, our engineer, Cy on the camera, my broadcast partner, Amy McDevitt-Maki. And Amy, final thoughts?
Well, I think it was a super fun game, and I'm looking forward to next week to both the finals for the Silver and the Gold Cup. So it's going to be a great playoff week for lacrosse, and this has just been really fun. And I just love to watch a good competitive game. Really fun game to watch.
And this certainly was. All right, I want to remind you, we're Oregon Sports Beat. Go to our website, OregonSportsBeat.com. We've got our information up about the games next week, what time they are, where they're at. We'll be covering those, and we'll have our schedule up for the rest of the playoff season. It's going to be an exciting run for all the teams. I'm Dave Hall from Strasser Field at East Delta Park in the semifinals of the Silver Division of the OGLA Championships. Our final score, Central Catholic 7, Tualatin 4. Good night, everybody.